All right, hey everybody, I'm hoping that you're all doing well. Welcome all of you to a very special session on Excel. Excel के cutoffs आ गए हैं. ZAT के cutoffs for XLRI are out, and we have somebody very special tonight with us. A mentee, a friend, and somebody who has been now guiding a lot of people from Excel standpoint as well. Let me welcome Divya. Divya has been a part of Postcat Prep in the past. Divya, how are you doing? And I'm hoping that everything is well at XLRI.
Yes, I'm doing good. Everything is well here. And hello, everyone. It's nice to be here.
Yeah, and Divya, you've been here several times, so I think the family knows you pretty well as well.
Yes.
And obviously you've been also doing interviews, taking HR sessions with postcat, so everybody knows. I will not get a lot into your introduction and detailing that. Everybody knows you already. So Divya, what I'll do is I'll quickly share a series of slides to take us through the agenda for today, which is primarily that Excel cutoffs are out, how to interpret it, कितने लगभग सीट्स होंगे, हाउ शुड बी इंटरप्रेट इट गोइंग फॉरवर्ड, प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट करनी चाहिए, क्या क्या प्रिपरेशन करना है इसके आगे, फ्रॉम इंटरव्यू स्टैंड पॉइंट, या क्या होने वाला है. So all of that. So a lot of questions I have. I can't control the number of questions that I have in my mind. So I'll quickly share my screen with you and then let's
Yes.
go. Perfect. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have Divya, who is a part of XLRI Jamshedpur. Dean's merit list, ये सुन के बड़ा amazing लगता है. बहुत सही. Perfect. So, Divya, what we'll do is primarily this is how the cutoffs are looking like. तो for example, जैसे अगर XLRI BM interview के अंदर देखें तो engineer मेल फीमेल 96 और 91 ओवरऑल दिख रहा है with respective cutoffs in QA, VLR, and DM, and similarly for non-engineers, and then again for HRM, this is how it looks like. Now, my question to you is, how should we interpret it as a aspirant, as a student? How should I interpret? And wanted your views on that, Divya.
Okay. So looking at the cutoffs, so I'll explain first that XLRI BM program cutoffs are for their two campuses. So XLRI Jamshedpur is one campus having 240 seats, and XLRI Delhi is NCR is one campus which is having 120 seats currently, and they are trying to increase it to 180. So there are chances of a slight increase in the seats, and this particular cutoff will be there for these two programs, for the BM program at those two campuses. So what we can do is all the people who are clearing all these cutoffs, they should have all these four cutoffs cleared, and those people will be getting a call from XLRI, and those need to start with their preparation. So this was for BM. For XLRI HRM program, this is only for the XLRI Jamshedpur campus, and it is having currently 180 seats, and there are no signs of increase in the seats. So this particular cutoff is for those 180 seats. People clearing all the cutoffs in the decision making section, in the verbal section, in the con section, and also the overall total cutoff should be cleared. All these people will be receiving a call, and they need to start with the preparation.
Got it. Divya, one question which actually troubles a lot of people is that if I am, let's say, in the lower side of the spectrum, do I still have a chance of converting my call or not? This bothers a lot of people.
So, how really XLRI sees all these things and how it is evaluating your percentile is still in the black box. But once you get the interview call, it's an opportunity, it's an golden opportunity. And I think after that, they give equal chance to everyone to have a fair interview. And I have seen a lot of my classmates who are in those lower spectrum and still the part of Excel and with studying with me. So I think you view a interview as an opportunity given to you, and just give the interview with whole heart. Like, I don't think so there is any it might happen that the percentile are only the what you say the cutoff point for getting into interviews. It might happen that the college does not consider your percentiles after you get the interview call for the final selection. So be ready and don't feel nervous if you are in the lower spectrum, because everyone is given a fair chance and there is no discussion of percentile in your interview.
Got it. So basically, the key takeaway is anyone and everyone who is qualifying from these cutoffs should start preparing from an Excel standpoint. Brilliant. So Divya, what to do? What to start? What is the process going to be like?
Okay, so the first part is people who will be receiving the calls will also be getting a portal access in which they will be having like 4 questions for the BM program and 4 questions for the HRM program. Those questions will be like related to how you understand the programs well, how you fit into those programs, and how you behaved in certain instances in your life. So they will be just behavioral questions which we have already prepared, I guess. Those questions answers to be written is given like 2-3 days of window will be given to write those answers, and after that select an interview date for your BM and HRM. If anyone has to the like call for both the programs, then they will have to fill all the 8 questions and then they will be able to book a slot for the interview. So this is a general flow before like going for interview stage. So be prepared with your BQs, be prepared with a person who will be reviewing them, and then like once you get that particular call and once you get the portal access, you will be having only 2-3 days to do all these things.
Got
So
it.
this is one step. Second step after that is XLRI previously used to have GDs for their selection process, and the GDs were cancelled in the online setup. But this time they are thinking of going into offline setup interviews. The thoughts are coming on. So I think there might happen that you prepare with the standpoint of GDs. You start preparing for GDs, and after that an interview will happen, which will be only one interview for BM and one interview for HRM. If you have both the calls, you will be having 2 different interviews. And in those interviews, for BM, I would say that it will be oriented more towards how you understand businesses, how you understand your own technical background, and whether you are able to relate that technical background with what you are going to do, and mostly behavioral questions to see how as a person you have learning capabilities and how as a person you behave with others.
Got it.
And with HRM, it will be mostly why HRM, why you want to go into HRM, and are you really passionate about the program, about working for people, and if you know anything about human resource management. This will be tested. Your technical knowledge of previous like work cakes and everything will be tested. And again, they will be seeing the behavioral they will be asking behavioral questions and seeing whether a person is able to answer about themselves. So the interview might go on for judging a person on how he is and not asking random current affairs question. They focus on like understanding the human perspective of your like life, how you developed, how you shaped yourself, what you learned in all your like experiences, and how you behave with others, and how is your relationship with your parents, your work colleagues, and your managers. So this is a perfect like possible flow of the interviews.
Got it. Got it.
GDs, I didn't go through the GDs part, so I really don't know, but yes, seeing the previous interviews might help.
Absolutely. So to summarize, I think two, three very important pointers. So Divya, the HR answers that we've prepared as part of postcard prep, that should be helpful in filling the forms, as in the questions. Perfect. So that is, I think, something which we have typically reviewed for almost all of our candidates, barring a few people who are, in the process of reviewing that. So that is one. Second, very important pointers. All of you who are listening, you might have a GD this time, so start preparing from that mindset that you might have a GD this time. If it does not happen, does not happen. But हमको वो mindset लेके चलना है कि अगर GD होता है, तो we should be prepared from that standpoint as well. And third, very important inputs from a PI standpoint, which Divya has mentioned. Please take care of that and make sure that you crack it. Now, Divya, let's quickly take it from your standpoint. Amazing profile, everybody. Divya, what I wanted to request you is that what was your experience like? In terms of interviewing with Excel, what were the kind of questions? What was the interview experience like?
Okay, so I had a call for both the programs, the BM and HRM program, and I was more tilted toward the HRM program. So I kept my BM interview first. In my BM interview, they asked me or tell me about yourself question, and then they picked some hook questions from it that I worked with. Like a university for developing a sustainable model for Indian rivers. So they asked me what is sustainability, how we can apply it into business. So what is sustainability in business point of view? They gave me a case that if I am building metros, so what are the potential hazards metro will be bringing for the city of Mumbai, and then going forward, what are the key stakeholders in that particular project, who will be affected with that project, who will be at benefit with that project. So they were understanding that, do I know this terms of like stakeholders, what will be the affecting part of it, and testing my business knowledge. Do I know different fields of business management like finance, marketing, what brief information I have about it, and how was my work life. That they asked my relationship with my manager. They also asked me how I used to work there, what was my work, and related to the work there were some behavioral questions that tell us some instance where you showed your leadership capability. And there was one particular question related to the SOPs I answered, that how I will be fit into the BM program. So I mentioned about one particular subject which really tilted me in my UG, that principles of business management. So they asked me that, tell us more about the subject. What did you learn in that? What were the case study, one particular case study, if you remember, what was it? So they were really testing that whether the answers I have written in the SOP submitted, do I really know the answers, do I really fit with them, and am I the same person like writing those answers? That was their particular like contention, and also testing me as a human, how I behave in certain situations.
Got it. Got it. So primarily, they are more SOP driven. So I'd request everybody to, once we will be doing a review of the forms also. So make sure that you fill the forms properly, because you might get questions from the forms and then some behavioral questions, primarily to understand the individual, right, Divya, as you mentioned.
Yes. So there were three people in the panel. So one was there only for asking the questions from SOP. So he was the one going through the SOPs and asking the question. Other two were testing our knowledge. So this was a flow for BM interview.
Okay. So for BM HRM, are there separate interviews, Divya, or is
Yes, they have separate interviews.
got it? So BM HRM, you will have separate interviews. For BM XLRI and Delhi, there'll be a common interview, and HRM there is one. So basically, two interviews in total for XLRI. Got it, got it. So Divya, I think this sounds pretty good, and I remember because I had taken a few of your interviews back in time during post-CAT prep, and you were pretty good with it in terms of your preparation, which was really really good. Divya, want to understand from your standpoint, there is a question which is like, why a particular college, right? For example, let's say somebody asks a candidate, why XLR? Now you have both perspectives. You've cleared the interview and you've been there as well. You've spent time. So how do you answer that question? What are some of the key elements of XLRI that differentiate, and something that you can tell us so that the people who are watching this have to do a little lesser research, or maybe how to do that research also, if you can add to that.
Okay. So, like, I will be giving like some points that can be useful for this answer. So, the first point is the legacy XLRI brings, that it is celebrating its 75 years of its glory. So, this legacy is being brought. It is associated with the HRM program more, because HRM was the pioneer program here, and BM program was also like done with their like 30 to 35 years till now. So I think that also is bringing a type of legacy, and the type of people who have been in this college, and the alum base. So the alum base here is really collaborative. There is a three batch culture over here, that we are in touch with our juniors as well as our seniors and as well as our super seniors. So this is a collaborative chain that has been built from years. And whenever we approach a alum, uh, whoever it might be, a person on very high position or a person passed out from excel at very earlier stage, but they talk with us with utmost respect. And this is the one thing which is very unique about excel, that I would say that whenever you encounter any particular person from excel, the bond like speaks a lot. So I
Yeah.
think that is a one perspective of having a lot of alum base in various organizations and various different streams, I would say. So that helps a lot. And apart from the alum base, I would say one thing is that when you come here, it's association with the Tatas. So that is the second thing you can mention, that it was formed for creating managers for Tatas. So this history you can leverage with that it was formed to develop managers, and now as it has been growing, it is developing a lot of managerial candidates. So this is one perspective. Second perspective which I used was there is a unique thing at Excel which is behavioral lab. So this behavioral lab is not present in every college out there. So this was one thing I related with my research experience, that I already have a research. I see research as a part of my life, and then having Excel in my profile and having that leverage to the behavioral lab there, I will be able to understand how people's psychology works. So this was one point I mentioned about why Excel. Third is the it is a student driven campus. Everything that works here works through committees, and the committees are wholly driven by students. There is no interference by the professors in our day-to-day life. Everything, if we see the infrastructure, infracom, we have one committee. We have one committee of event management. We have committee for social and also there is a committee who runs the Excel's external relations. All these are student driven, so you get to learn a lot
Yeah.
from this particular thing. Next is last, I would say the professors. They hire best of the professors who also have the industry experiences before joining as professors. So they can also help you have the industry cases very well. The curriculum is case study driven. That's why it is giving a real life experiences to you, real life examples on it. And this is a particular flow that I used in my YXL. So pick up any two or three points which relates to you, which also you see that the value of Excel is for the greater good. So you can see other values of Excel and also relate it, that how your UG college was having the similar values, how you can grow in this collaborative environment. And people out here are from various diverse backgrounds. So having those perspective in your life. So these all things will help you answer why XLRI.
Perfect, perfect. Anjali is saying, hello, sir. I have cleared Excel HRM cutoff, but my score is only 92%. Is it possible? Anjali, Divya has already answered this. If you have cleared the cutoff, give it your best. Okay. And you might as well convert it. Okay. So the idea is give it your best. And if it goes well, obviously, why not? You should be able to convert it. Divya, there is one more question from Aryan. Aryan says some points on why HRM. So, how does somebody answer a why HRM kind of a question?
Okay. So first of all, in interviews, they will test this particular knowledge of you, that how you think of HRM, what do you think what HR manager does. You have to read about it a lot, how HR helps in the employee life cycle, how an employee is helped by HR, and whether you were able to see a particular HR manager working in your organization, what were the HR policies in your organization. So go through all this information. You will find that one instance in your company which will let you believe that people are the most important resource of whatever we do in an organization. Without people, a project or organization cannot work, and managing them becomes challenging. So this is a particular flow. You can use one instance. You can personalize the answer by using an instance from your work case or your college, how you understood that people are most important part and how you can go on managing them. And this flow you can use for giving the answer, that one instance and what do you learn from it, and how do you think now you are ready to manage those people, ready to go forward with that particular, and how passionate you are for HRM. So they might ask you that whether your inclination is towards HRM just because you want to go in some other fields or you want to go in HRM. So that is a test question. Do answer it well. And I would say if you are passionate for HRM, do mention it because they consider it a lot.
Got it. So I think that really sounds good. So understand the key functions of a HR, for example, compensation management, talent acquisition, training and development, learning. So many areas that are there, and understand what is it that you believe you can add value, and also understand very correctly Divya mentioned the organization or projects cannot work without people, and therefore if you believe that you are somebody who are sort of a people person, you can help people in your organization, you can manage policies, you can bring about a positive change in an organization. I think HR is the domain that you can get into. Perfect, Divya, that really sounds great. Finally, tell us a little bit about Onsom Valhalla. It really sounds very very good. Tell us a little bit about it, and what's your role in it.
So this is a particular committee we have. We have an annual fest, which is which works in four domains like management, cultural, sports, and as well as we have some fun activities, pro shows going on. So this is a 3 days event, and the core committee of this event is uh, the one committee who handles all this, like from starting from the sponsorship and by designing the events, how to get the contestants, how to get the contingents on board, the sports facility. So it is done with the another committee called Sportscom. So in collaboration with them, we run the sports events also, and again inviting various guests for panel discussions and also various guests for performing. That we had Amit Trivedi this year in campus in our particular fest. So this is a fest name, it's named Ensemble Valhalla by the team who started the fest like before 20 years. I really don't know why the name, but it was just named Ensemble first. The Valhalla part is the sports part of it.
Got it. That really, really sounds good. So, guys, you've heard Divya. Both of us will be accessible at PostCat. So, if you've not started and if you are clearing those cutoffs, get started. Start working to convert. Don't think too much whether my percentile is more or less. You might as well convert it if you give it your best. Thank you so much, Divya, for your time. This was on a short notice, but thank you so much for coming in. God bless you. And I'll see you again very, very soon.
Yeah, thank you, Sudhanshu, for this platform. I hope that most of you will be able to convert this and come here at Excel. So we are waiting for you.
Absolutely, you would be obviously a buddy to so many people. You've been taking so many interviews also, and the HR reviews at Postcat. Thank you so much for that as well, Divya.
Thank you. All the best to all.
All
That's
the
all.
best, guys. Take care. Bye bye.